Who are the defenders that are going to make up the future of the USMT? We already know the established names of Chris Richards, Serginho Dest, Jedi Robertson, and the greatest defender of all time, Tim Ream. But you must be wondering, who's the next Richards? Who's the next Dest? Who's the next Tim Ream? Tim Howard, Casey Keller? Well, this whole month, I've been looking at our American player pool of youth prospects and any dual nets that can represent America. And I chose the year 2004 as the birth year as the max age, and everything else is younger. So 05, 06, 07. And I ranked them by positions: goalkeepers, center backs, left backs, right backs, defensive mids, center mids, cams, left wingers, right wingers, and strikers. But today, episode one, we'll be focusing on the goalkeepers, left backs, right backs, and center backs. And I will be giving them potential ratings, and we'll see how I rank them. Before I show you the ranking of each player, let's get a little bit more on how I rank them. And it is based off of their recent development, their recent progress, first team minutes, productions, save percentages, and all that. It is not purely just a potential ratings or ceilings or any of that. But if a player is 3 years older and is playing the same or as good as a 17-year-old, or the 17-year-old is keeping up with them, I am going to be giving the slight bias or the ranking bias towards the younger player. So they're going to be ranked higher because that's who we want to be looking forward to in these series. And each position there is going to be a future watch. So these are prospect kids playing in academies, MLS Next Pro, European academies, of course. And for today or this first update, I will be highlighting some players who aren't able to get minutes at their MLS club because they're not getting enough minutes. And after that, it will be a ranking of 10th, ninth, the 8th, 7th, 6th. That will be on the same page, and those are going to have a smaller detailed report of the appearances they made, the minutes they've played, the club they play for, and the year they were born. Just a little warning, I guess, their appearances also do combine with their B teams or sometimes youth academies. But I will be saying that if those appearances do come from the B teams or anything of that sort. And then fifth, fourth, third, second, and first are all going to have more detailed reports. Strengths, weaknesses, their height, their age, also their potential, and just like a bigger graphic card to highlight these players more. And again, this is purely on progression, and progression is the name of this series. And right before I explain what the potential stars mean and what stars each player correlates to a past or current USMT player, I just want to say the future watch for this episode is only going to have 5 players. There's going to be definitely more players next update because I realize that's still not giving enough kids their flowers. There's definitely tons of talented kids. The youth systems is really working in the US, that's for sure. Heck, even Europe right now, a lot of dual nets as well. Just can't access them, so please send them their names. I do have a database of 200 players, but those are roughly mostly like players who are getting starting minutes and more detailed reports. And also, quick little update, I guess, about the rankings. It is more of a benchmark, so some players might not be performing right now, but they have before and they've earned that place. But again, it will be getting updated roughly every 4 months. I'm hoping to get the next update out in January after everyone gets a little transfer, either like a transfer, a loan, anything to help their case, because I don't want to keep editing the graphic each day. But yeah, that's just a little heads up. Okay, let's start out with 5 stars. 5 stars means you are a top player in a top 5 league and or a generational player for the USMT. And I'm going to be doing these by position. So today, I think only Tim Howard, I think I'm stretching, but Tim Howard deserves a 5 stars. He was a generational player for the USMT, great for the World Cup, great in the Premier League as well, and no fullbacks and no center backs have ever reached that level for the USMT. Next up is 4.5 stars. This means you are going to be a very good player in a top 5 league, and I think no one explains that better than Jedi Robertson from Fulham, who had a team of the season performance last season for Fulham, and always having great seasons for Fulham. Goalkeepers are Casey Keller and Brad Friedel. Right back, we don't really have one right now, at least. But yeah, those are the 3 players that fit the bill. 4 stars means you are a good player, a regular starter at a top 5 league, or you are a standout player in the Eredivisie, Belgium League, and Portuguese League. And a good example for that is Serginho Dest, Chris Richards from Crystal Palace. You can even say DeMarcus Beasley and Steve Cherundolo. 3.5 stars means you are a star MLS player, a strong championship player, or a strong first division European player. Those will include Joe Scally, Tim Ream, Miles Robertson, and Matt Turner. And finally, 3 stars means you are a starter to a good player in the MLS. So think of a Walker Zimmerman, and you're basically a USMT fringe player. That is the gist of the series. It's just explaining how potentials work, how rankings are done. Let me know if that's fair or not. I did give every future watch a 3.5 star. I think that would be the benchmark for them. I don't want to overrate them, but I did give 4 stars for players that stand out a lot more than other players. And I want to explain that potentials can change throughout the series, throughout every update, and same with ranking as well. Players can go up, players can go down. Some players can even leave the list entirely for poorer performances, for injuries, but some for good reasons. And I'll explain that once we get to the right back. But also a huge shout out to Marcus Charas from US Soccer Collective. He has a wonderful website, Twitter page, and he just has a huge website, just deep pipeline of all the kids in America. He watches the games, he reports on them. Without him, I don't know how I would have done the Future Watch. So, quick, huge shout out. Please follow him. I'll give links to his website, his Instagram if he has one, his Twitter. Support him any way you can. But I just want to say these evaluations are my own, but I would have not done it without him. Tremendous help from him. Thank you. And let's get on to the series. All right, before we get the show on the road, let me explain a few things just really quick. If you see a player born in '05, 2005 and younger, that player is eligible to play for the Olympic team in 2028. So 2004 you're too old, 2005 is the minimum age or whatever. And yeah, and then also another thing is if you see another flag above their birth year, or on the other side it would be underneath the rank of like 10, 9, 8, whatever. If you see another flag, that means that player has more recently represented a different national team, that flag's national team or youth national team. And it's not the case for everyone, but Leonard Prescott has only represented Germany and never US, but other cases are they represent both USA and their other respective countries. So that's just something to look out forward to. But let's start with Leonard Prescott. Good player to start off with. If Poach is able to recruit this kid, that might be the biggest win in his USMT career. Only thing that tops that is a World Cup, but still, this kid is promising. Plays for Bayern München's second team, third string for their first team. Was about to get Champion League minutes last season, but Neuer came back from injury, so prevented that. But the reason why he's so like promising and why it's a big win is because he's 6'5" at 16 already. The third string at Bayern Munich, one of the biggest clubs in the world, biggest club in Germany, and it's just his quality traits and his ability is just almost world class potential. Really, it's his size is a big plus. His lateral quickness, reflexes, unusual, like just not even unusual, like advanced distribution. Like that's European, like that's top level academy training for you that we don't have here per se. But still, that's like someone we should be looking out forward to. Is just, are we gonna win the recruitment battle? I don't know. I don't know. Fingers crossed. We can all hope. But still, that's Leonard Prescott for you. Someone we should be actively trying to recruit. Next player up is Connor Dale, and that's a name I want people to really remember. He's only a 2010, but he's already viewed as one of the best American prospects in that entire birth year. Not just goalkeepers, but the entire year. So against defenders, center backs, right backs, or midfielders and attackers as well. And it's just due to him being really athletic, excellent at cutting down angles, and being comfortable on the ball. Just like has really good fundamentals at his age. Has a composure, distribution, a lot of things that we want from modern keepers, and not just saving. I don't expect him to be leaving from Future Watch for the next several years, but definitely a keeper to watch out for, especially in 2034, 2038. Yeah, I just remember the name Connor Dale. Next player up is Giorgio De Marzi from AS Roma, American-born keeper in '07, and he joined Roma's academy when he was 14, helping them win a U17 league title. And he most recently entered the U.S. national team setup as well, which is good. I remember hearing about how we have this keeper in AS Roma academy, but he's not getting called up because when it's youth national teams, clubs aren't really required to release their players at all. I think they have the say over the player or whatever. But still, he's getting called up. He's getting set up. That means like the federation's keeping an eye on him. Recent development has been good. But he's coming at an age where he needs to get senior minutes or go out on loan. Because compared to other players on this list, there's some players a bit younger than him and the top 10 rank already. But he is playing at Roma. They have one of the best keepers in the league, if not the best currently right now. So if you can get a loan to, I don't know, Italian second division or third division, perfect for him. Is really just getting that senior minutes and developing his game and game sense. Next player up is Zach Lapierre from New England Revolutions Academy. Definitely the youngest keeper here, born in 2011, but he's already ranked fifth among his peers. So attackers, midfielders, defenders. He has all the fundamental traits you want in a keeper, especially being so young. But his issue, or the one concern about him is just having a history of injuries, which could interrupt his development. It might be that's something Marcus has said in his notes or a report about him, but still promising keeper. Not too much to say about him, especially being born in 2011. We'll might see him in 2038 World Cup, but yeah. And last player up is Aiden Stokes from Brentford U21. That is Brentford from the Premier League's second team in the Premier League 2. A couple of other players have played there before in Brentford or in the Premier League too. But with Aiden Stokes, he might be a lot closer to that top 10 rank than most people think. He has already, or he's on loan from New York Red Bulls. He was signed as a homegrown. He has a lot of minutes played in the MLS Next Pro, 23 MLS Next Pro starts, over 2,000 minutes played, 6 clean sheets, has won a Goalkeeper of the Month. So just, some accolades to look forward to, especially being so young. He recently got signed, one on loan. I don't know if he's played. It is August 18 today, so I haven't really looked into it. Been busy, but still, if anyone knows, leave it down in the comments. But also another thing to look out forward for him, or a little concern, I suppose, is that he's represented 3 different national teams or youth national teams: Wales, England, and America, of course. So I don't know if we're going to be losing him or if he's just trying out different youth national team setups. But more recently, he's represented America, so that's a good thing to know. But I would not be surprised if he goes to the 10th position in the next update in 4 months. So Aiden Stokes for you. At number 10, I have Paul Walters from Bohemia FC from the Republic of Ireland, Premier League division. He has a totally different storyline compared to other players on this list. He's on loan from Cincinnati FC and from MLS. He's played with their second team. He's won on loan to USL and then recently just got loaned out for an entire season. It's interesting because he's an older player, someone I haven't really heard of, and it's just surprising to find out that he fits the 2004 and younger bill, and then that he's performing so well for Behemoth. I remember looking up his stats. He really helped them go further into the Conference League qualification rounds. So that's like right before you make into Conference League league phase against the other 30 teams there or however much teams. But more recently they did just go out, not due to him, but he really kept them up. He's having a really solid season with them, so it's really surprising. But this is what you want from a keeper. Go out on loan somewhere where you can get minutes, especially when goalkeepers again develop way later than other positions, that's for sure. And minutes is really the key for keepers. Is he gonna break through like out the blue? Maybe I don't know, maybe like a Matt Freese perhaps. I don't know, someone to look out forward to. I would not be surprised if he goes further up the list because he's actually getting uh senior minutes somewhere and not just, I guess, farming up MLS Next Pro minutes or anywhere else. So Paul Walters. At number 9, I had Jack Courtcramp from Sporting KC, second team. This is more projection heavy. That's why I haven't ranked higher than Paul Walters. Maybe it's not fair, but we'll see in the next update. He's, in 08 played for the US U17 World Cup and was also an MLS Next All Star. So not that serious, but still shows that he's ranked higher than a lot of other players in his position. It's just Can he get senior minutes? Can he not? But still, I think he's like ahead of the normal development curve for his age. He's already being touted as like one of the most promising goalkeepers coming through, academy through MLS Next Pro. Good to hear. Being ranked number 9 is not that bad, but we'll see what the future holds. At number 8, I have Kane Ritzvanovic from Minnesota United too. I like where his career is heading towards because he has recently, or more recently, he has went on loan to Brooklyn FC in the USL Championship Division, which is a higher quality league than the MLS Next Pro, that's for sure. And then came back, and he has more recently also played for the US U20 team in the CONCACAF Championship, where we were able to get qualified for the U20 World Cup and then the Pan Am Games. I think that one's U23. It's just a competition we don't really focus on. Yeah, but besides that, he has been getting, a couple of senior minutes here at, especially at being so young. He started 3 games for Brooklyn, got 270 minutes, and then Minnesota recalled him. He's still early process, but he's already like kind of beyond that academy level. So we'll see where his career goes. It looks promising, getting more senior minutes, getting more development, and just not farming academy league minutes. That's Kane for you. At number 7, we have Andrew Rick from Philadelphia Union's first team, actually, where he's been able to get a good amount of starts, a good amount of minutes. Not exactly 11 appearances, because that is a combination of the second team and the first team, but he is more proven than Kane from the previous rank because he's able to get first team minutes in MLS, in CONCACAF Championship or Champions League or Cup. I forgot the name, but really promising like career trajectory right now. He was a fun fact actually. He was Poach brought him to the World Cup squad as a training keeper, so that means the Federation's keeping an eye out on him. Still super young. Maybe he gets more than 3-star potential in the next update, but right now his environment, especially at Union, with the way they treat youngsters, is really well. They give them chances. It's just super well. He could be challenging top 5 position. We'll see. Andrew Rick is really on a really good trajectory right now. And to finish off, the next up is Julian Eystone, ranked number 6. I quickly had to change his name because apparently I wrote down Keystone. I guess I was really thirsty that day, but either way, he is Rotherham United in the 4th division of England, on loan from Brentford United. So they have a thing for American keepers. They are a smart club. They make smart transfers. So if they see something in him, I believe it too. And he stands at 6'7", yes, 6'7", 6'7", and I think this is a really good move for him. He is going to be facing a lot of shots, a lot of crosses, a lot of bodies in during corners, during set pieces, and a lot of good keepers play there as well. I want to say Dibu Martinez, David Raya, maybe even a Pickford as well, but perfect move for him. I would say as long as he's getting senior minutes, that's really the name of the game for these keepers, and he is eligible to play in the next Olympics as well. So I would not be surprised if he's second string there as well, maybe even starting as well. But he has really fierce competition in the next rank. So Julian Eystone for you. At number 5, I have Gavin Beavers from Brøndby IF in Denmark. He is super young, oh 05, eligible for the Olympics. He is a keeper that started really young in MLS for Real Salt Lake. Got a move, I think it was last season or the season before. Well deserved, especially looking so promising in MLS. He only has played 4 games for Bromby, and from reports he looked really solid, had really good games. But again, he has more glaring issues than strengths right now. I mean, at 21 as a keeper, what do you expect? I suppose is rebounds, footworking, saving close shots. But with his frame, if you've seen a picture of him, he is jacked. I mean, 6'5". I mean, he is athletic as well, being 6'5". Saves with his feet, so he has those traits to make him take it up to the next level. But he is in threat of dropping out of the top 5 just due to senior minutes. Again, senior minutes is the name of the game for these guys. Maybe he can pick it up. Maybe he can somehow start. But next update, I would not be surprised if he drops out. But Gavin Beavers, still a promising keeper to look forward to. At number 4 is Duran Free from San Diego FC. One of my favorite stories from this position because he is making you like really pay attention to him. Like he, all these other names on this list kind of have been like, you heard stories about them, you've seen them play. I wouldn't say he came out the blue, but he's really making a name for himself. He's has played in the USL championships for San Diego Loyal, rip them, somewhere else as well, but still super promising player. Oh, Orange County in USL as well. And then went on loan to another I think it's San Diego's sister club in Denmark. Trained there, got some minutes there, came back, and as you can see, 16 starts, 4 clean sheets, solid save percentage as well. But I think that's due mostly due to their first string keeper getting injured in CJ Dos Santos, and more recently he came back from injury and he kind of took his spot already. So I don't know what Duran Free's game is right now in the sense of like, is he gonna challenge for the first string? Is he gonna go on loan or switch MLS clubs? But still, he is someone to be looking out forward to. Especially, I like his story. Making a name for himself. Um, Still a lot more uh, weaknesses and strengths. Still Olympic eligible at 19 years old. That's nothing to give up on. That's for sure. Is tall. He just needs to put on some mass. I think he needs to go. I think Gavin needs to go train him on how to eat protein correctly. What sets or split days to do. Because if he does, then he can be going up a lot higher on this ranking. Also, I think he might be the second string for the Olympic team, but again, it's him or Julian Eystone for me. At number three is Gaga Slonina. Probably a name you haven't heard in forever, or a name that you are wondering how is he still on this list. Again, I would say this is a benchmark ranking of 4, so he's not eligible for the Olympics. But I think we've all had him in our 2026 prediction roster for the U.S. like second string. Even heck, even some of us had him starting, but a lot of things didn't pan out. He went to Chelsea really young. I would say, I mean, the move like to get transfer is deserving, but to Chelsea, we know their loan army. It's been a story for their club for the longest time, and nothing has changed. He did go to Strasbourg to train, I suppose, or to fight for first position there, but he conceded 7 goals to Sporting Lisbon and did not end up making a loan there. For him, it is minutes really finding a loan because he did go on loan to Belgium. Can't remember the team. It's a black badge, and then he also went to Barnsley where he's didn't look that solid either. I would say this. I would keep it on a positive note here. He might be probably the best, or one of, or maybe even second best shot stopper as a goalkeeper in this age range. He, it's too. I would say it's too young or too early to give up on him. But really, everything's in his hand. You know, if you don't know the story, he was the youngest keeper to start in MLS at 17 years old, 81 days. I have it right here. He's made 43 appearances for Chicago Fire before Chelsea bought him. But for him, the development hasn't been straightforward. He just needs a loan, really. I want to see this kid make it. Not even kid. He's 22, 2 years younger than me, but still, I really want to see him make it. Gaga Slonina, just I don't know, just get a loan, please. At number two, we have Diego Cochin from Lingby on loan from Barca. I like how I wrote on loan from him, but not for anyone else. Apologies. But still, he. Some of you might be surprised why he's not ranked number one. But again, the name of the game is development, and he's just younger. And the issue, I guess the reason why he was ranked number two is because he was mostly playing academy and youth league, like U23 for Barca. So it makes sense at 20 years old as well when you have Duran Free already playing in championship, maybe not as high level, but still facing a senior competition. But still, for him, he is not a Barca prospect anymore. He finally got that loan. He has an option to buy from Lingby for $3 million. And from the games I've seen, he is everything he lives up to. So those strengths and weaknesses are really spot on. He is standing up higher up, like on top of the 18-yard box, or not 18, outside the box, and a bit higher up, like as a sweeper keeper. So he is proactive in that, and is because he likes to play the ball with his feet. He's not scared of like dribbling, doing some long passes. But he has conceded. He's not kept a clean sheet yet. Some of it might be due to him, but a good amount of the times it is his backline uh just being bad, not really saving his butt at all. But for him, it's like, can he develop more, or was he farming the academy leagues? I think he's gonna make it. This is something really promising. Senior minutes, really, I need to delete that as a weakness right now. In 4 months, let's see if he keeps a clean sheet. Someone to look forward to. He's probably gonna be the starting keeper for the Olympics. I can't remember if the Olympics are like you have to release the player, or if it's they don't have to release the player at all. I can't remember because it is kind of more of a youth league, but still, he can be the starting keeper in 2030 for sure, 2034. But let's see how he develops. He's definitely the most promising keeper. He is kind of our hope right now, but let's not give him that pressure right now. And at number one is Chris Brady from Chicago Fire FC. We know him. I'm pretty sure we do because he was second string at the World Cup most recently, 2026. He did get a friendly against Senegal. Did cause a mistake. Him and Miles just not communicating, stepping up forward. But he has developed further along than Diego Cochin. He is the player who, I guess, that didn't replace but stepped up after Gaga left from Chicago Fire, and he has been looking solid. I think a European move, a move to the Europe, is within his grasp. Maybe in December, maybe in the next summertime. He is a good shot stopper. I guess for us, or for the issue is that he's not really good on with the ball at his feet and decision making as well. Just and also I guess inconsistent ball handling, but his concentration, senior appearances, you know, he is a lot closer to graduating from this Rising Star series than he is than falling out. 21 appearances, he's consistently starting. No one's really taking his place at Chicago Fire. He could be overtaking Matt Freese. Been If we're dropping Matt Freese from the national team, he's probably gonna be the number one keeper. Just someone to look forward to. Kinda. He's a good shot stopper. Just the ball of his feet is night and day compared to Diego Cochin, and that is, I guess, more the sense of MLS training and what they want from keepers. Uh, is he just gonna take the next step to Europe? Hopefully so. All right, let's get to right backs. First player up is Mateus Fernandez, who I do not know too much about him. I did look at the U17 U.S. national team, and I was surprised to see we have an American at Atletico Madrid that wasn't named Johnny Cardozo. Um, I don't know too much about him, but I would say it's a name to remember. He did get a first like his professional contract by them, but that doesn't mean he's like going to start anytime soon, especially with Lorente and Molina starting at right back position. Heck, they might even bring in a lone player before they start him. But he has been at Atletico Madrid since 2022. He, I think he's a player that they do trust in, that they see potential in. I don't know too much about him. I don't want to say that I know a lot and be a liar, be a larper as well. But he is at the like the federation is keeping an eye on him. So if they see potential in him, so do I. Next player up is Brandon Days from Louisville FC in '08. Most recently played with the U20 USA team as a right back. But at Louisville, he has been playing a lot more minutes at center back. So we'll see at the next update if he stays a right back or center back. But, you know, positions change. Joe Linton from Newcastle went from striker to center mid. So center back to right back is not that much of a big change. But still, there's a funny story about Brandon is that he was, I guess, training with Louisville at the time when the coach saw him. He's like, who's that kid? Who's that 18-year-old kid? And then he found out that he was 13 years old. So, like, in a sense that he is physically ahead of the like a curve, and let's just see if his game catches up too. He was pretty solid at the U20 Concacaf Championship. Um, just more the fact is he going to be a right back, a center back, just someone to look out forward to. He's getting a lot of senior minutes at Louisville. Made 10 appearances when he was 16 before they gave him his first professional contract. So, and Louisville has had promising prospects, as in Joshua Winder, who's at Benfica, Jonathan Gomez, who kind of is finding his feet again with that one Greek team not coming to mind. but still, they know how to develop kids. Also, I think prospects in MLS or I don't know in academies should definitely be looking forward to signing or should be looking for or looking sorry looking to sign with USL clubs because European scouts do keep an eye out on the league. They've signed recently a lot of players from USL have been going to Europe, and that's a really good thing. If you're not able to start an MLS as like a younger uh, player, definitely go to USL or like keep the USL option open because they do a wonderful job of sending players to Europe. So just a little fact, I guess. Next player up is Joshua Wilburnick, and his full name is Joshua Wilburnick Van Kulenberg. And sorry, I didn't write down your full name, but he's just like he is a doing for Netherlands. Plays for Feyenoord. They, you know how Netherlands are, especially Feyenoord, Ajax, PSV. They do a good job of developing young prospects. Obviously American eligible. He did get brought into the U17 U.S. national team. It's just someone to be fighting for, especially. I should probably say I think right back's one of our weakest positions right now. Maybe senior position and prospects because no one's really making a name for themselves. Like compared to left back is filled to the brim, top five, top 10, even in future watch. But I think Joshua is someone we should be definitely trying to recruit. Someone USA is trying to like, or they're keeping an eye on him, bringing him to the national team. They're evaluating him. I don't know too much about him. I guess a quick question: should I write his full name out at the next update or what? And another player who I do not have too much scouting reports, I'll definitely try to fill it up next update, is Victor Van Den Broek from Ghent U23. And the thing is like the reason why I say I don't have that much report is because I looked on FootMob. It said that he's never represented the U.S. national team and that he's never represented the Honduras national team. But then you go on different pages, he's represented Honduras, Belgium, and USA. So really, I don't know where the evidence is. I'll be doing a deeper dive. Help me out in the comment section as well. But again, 2000 or I guess 2008 playing for U23 in Ghent. That's promising. Also another club that develops players really well, and especially in the right back position where we do not have too much quality. And finally, to finish off the future watch is Wesley Okaduwa. I think I pronounced that right. He is playing for Wolverhampton U21 Wolves. Recently, the Premier League got relegated, and I think it's a really good chance for him to start getting first team appearances, especially when he has before, but mostly in the FA Cup and Leagues Cup. I have him at 4-star potential because England are he has played for the England youth national team. He's played for the U.S. national team. If I'm not mistaken, he says he doesn't mind represent the U.S. national team, the senior national team. But with him, he was born in New York and then represent the England national teams, U16, U17. They gave him, our Wolves gave him a professional contract, so that's like really promising trajectory from him and solid player physically, technically. Definitely someone to recruit, especially for the right back position. The issue is the U.S. ever gonna have a real chance of recruiting him, especially if he's played for a national team or English national team more often than for us? But he is a big dual now. We should be looking forward to looking to recruit. At number 10, I have Drew Barura from New York City FC. He is currently injured with a serious injury of ACL, MCL, but it is severe. I think he's out for the whole season, and which sucks because he was making some solid strides or a solid like progression for New York City like MLS team. 4 appearances, 111 minutes. It's a bit harder to play there. I don't know. They don't really give young prospects too many chances, which sucks. But his story is pretty promising. He was one of 3 players from 2007 that got signed to professional contracts, and those other 2 players are ranked in the series. One of them is in the next position, the other one's a defensive mid. And, at least they have a good eye for prospects over there in New York. But For him, his game is like he's dynamic, attack minded, so he's a bit more pushes up further than stays back and stays defensively. He's represented, of course, the U.S. national team, U16. He went to Dream Cup in Japan, and it just sucks that he's injured. He might drop out of the top 10. I think that's why I have him at 3-star potential. Just sucks because he just hasn't really made a name for himself. At number 9, we have Justin Reynolds from Sporting KC. He is injured as well. He's an 04, so making him what, 22. It's just he is a player that needs to establish himself again. He came from Chicago Fire, actually came from their second team, first team. Got a loan to a Premier League, or not even Premier League, but a first division team in Switzerland. But at 22, you're beyond the age of like where pathway alone is impressive. So for him establishing himself as like a first team player is good for trajectory. But for his potential, do we really see him going more than 3 stars, or is he going to be like I guess, the Juan Jones type of player where he's a fringe, very fringe, and might only get a shot at the Gold Cup for the national team? But we'll see how he recovers. At number 8, we have Zachariah Taifi from Orlando City. He is a dual from Morocco, representing their U23 team. So if he wants to represent the USA, he's going to need to do a one-time switch. And I don't know if he's going to be doing that because I think his pathway or his chances of playing on the national team is kind of a lot higher for Morocco, which is kind of crazy to say because they are better than the US. But they do not have as a deep of a pool as we do. We are obviously a bigger country, both by land and population, and for me, I don't really see him developing more than 3 stars. I mean, if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong, and I'll be happy for him. But seeing him play, his game is not too exciting. It's solid, that's for sure. That's why Orlando is giving him chances, but he's been primarily playing for his B team. He is a do now. He has to do a one-time switch, so it's just more of a player that will probably end up playing for Morocco instead of the US. At number 7, I have Aiden Harangi from a Hungarian team that I cannot pronounce and I won't be pronouncing for my own ego and I don't want to ruin it. But either way, for him, their league started and he's not been playing any games whatsoever. I've not seen him on the team sheet. I did not see an injury report on transfer market. So does anyone know the story about him? Let me know. But he went on loan to San Diego FC last year or last season, that's for sure. And he looked really solid for those 8 games he played. I think he got injured, but I like his defensive profile, and there's like enough upside there where he could push to the top 5 position. I think he's could be. I think he might be the most promising right back we have currently right now, or the most upside for sure. But really, it's like, are you able to take the next step in your professional career, get some minutes, be competitive and compete for that starting position for your team? I don't know. He might even drop out of this top 10 ranking, but he also might not because of how weak this position is. I really like this player. Came from Eintracht Frankfurt, played a lot of games for their like U21, U23 teams. Right now, it's literally senior minutes. Is he able to get them or not? So we'll see with him. Number 6, I have Oscar Verhoeven from San Diego FC. His story is that he came from San Jose Earthquakes. They signed him on a homegrown deal. Then San Diego joined the league, took him on loan. They really liked what they saw, and so they made the move permanent with the Gam Tam Wham Bam policies that they have in MLS. And if like that club wanted to sign him permanently, and that's what got my attention. Saw him play against my Timbers in the what was it, play in the playoffs or whatever, and he looked really solid. Surprised I didn't know that he was that young. I really also like his defensive and attacking traits. He's played for the U.S. U17, U20, and he's on the right trajectory to push the top 5. That's for sure. Especially again with his position being so weak, I would not be surprised if he's in the top 5 in 4 months' time. And right before we get into the top 5 ranking, let's show what this series is all about. Graduating from Rising Stars, you know, this guy has USMT first team minutes, appearances. Heck, he even has a World Cup goal, and his name is Alex Freeman from Villarreal. You can see in the bottom right why he graduated, because he's an established first team starter, consistent USMT involvement beyond prospect status. He is already in Europe playing for one of the biggest clubs in Spain. I hope he gets a lot more minutes for Villarreal to keep developing his game. He is a right back, but I primarily see him as a center back, or a right center back in a back three. His game is so developed compared to anyone else in his position. He's gonna have this position locked down for a lot more years, and especially a couple more World Cups. Next one, maybe even the one after that. But this is what the series is all about. Hopefully, we get a lot more Alex Freemans, a lot more graduates at the end of this season, because I think that would be a better way to, you know, evaluate each player in each position. But Alex Freeman, uh, congrats on being the first graduate from Rising Stars. And right before we get into number five, quick little update. I am back to recording. This is going to be weird because this is going to be an all in one video. But I took a week off due to finding a job. I don't want to say that, that word scares me, but found one. I have some free time right now. Hopefully, get this video out soon, and the other positions as well. Sorry for the slack. It's still one video, but again, I hope to do better. And I'm sorry for any mistakes. And yeah, let's start with number five. Hazael Orozco from St. Louis City SC. He is the least prospect player on this position for sure. He's 22. He's at the max age at 04. It's not Olympic eligible. And his potential is 3 stars. I see his potential, his quality being perhaps of a Jackson Reagan from Seattle Sounders. Not the same player, but that like good starter for an MLS club. I mean, he definitely has the tools to be that level. He is pretty good on the ball, or not pretty good, but is solid on the ball retention. So he's not losing it. He's not doing silly mistakes. But being 5'10", he does lose a lot of aerial battles. He's not an attacking threat. And I should probably say this, that he is more of a center back, but I was really stretching it here. He plays more of a right center back, kind of like, Freeman, but without the attacking, just stays back. And I don't know if that, should I switch him back to right, or should I switch him to center back? Let me know in the comments. He just doesn't have the tallest or the highest ceiling in this group. But again, the whole premise of this series is rising stars. So let's see if he can go up, develop his game a bit more, and just see if he can push to 3.5 stars. But that's Hazael Orozco. At number four, I have Reed Baker Whiting from Nashville SC. Yes, he is still this young, being 21. I'm surprised as well. We've been hearing about this kid since he was 16 in Seattle Sounders. Recently made a trade or transfer to Nashville, probably the best MLS team currently right now. Easily most points in 22 games or whatever the stat is. But good for them. But it's just like we've been talking about him forever, and it's like sometimes we forget they're still developing. Everyone has like a different trajectory. I don't know. I thought he was going to be a bit more at this stage of his career. I remember him being linked to Wolves, I think, way back then. I mean, I can see why, dual footed. He has a really strong left foot. And this is probably another position where I stretched it out, where I think he plays way more games at left back than right back. But again, just should I switch him to left back in the next update? Let me know. I don't know. He has like a pretty solid profile on him. Just sucks that, as weaknesses, defensive position, he pushes up a bit more, so he gets caught out more. Tight space movement, so not the best on the ball, or I guess 1-2 passes as well. I don't know. It's He's clearly kind of more defining himself as a starting level role right now. So he could be pushing for 3.5 stars at the end of the season or the next update in 4 months. So we'll see where he goes from here. At number three, I have Harbor Miller from LA Galaxy, and since I guess last time I was recording this, he wasn't getting too much playing time at right back for LA Galaxy, but recently they moved on from their starting right back, the Japanese right back, can't remember his name, but he moved on, and ever since then, he's been playing a lot more right back games, which is awesome because I think he's more of a right back than a winger, a left winger, right winger. Yeah, because look at that defensive contributions. You watch this guy, and he's like running forever and running forward, back. I think, and also look at the weakness, attacking output. Playing as a winger, I think maybe you should be getting a lot more than 2 assists by this LA Galaxy, but I think his position's still at right back. He's making a name for himself. He does have a really solid, like, uh, previous clubs he's played for. Played for Galaxy Academy, then Ventura County FC as well in the MLS Next Pro, and then now he's at the Galaxy first team. So his trajectory and his the way he's moving up in his career is really solid, especially being at 19 years old. Have him at 3.5 stars. We'll see how it goes. I think honestly, I think he has the tools to be a 4 star potential player. He's played for a national team. His profile is really solid as well. It's just I still have him at 3 because he's just more raw compared to the number 2 and number 1. And let's see who's number 2. At number 2, I have Marcus McCoy, and yes, he is left-footed. But if you see the scouting traits, that is a dark green. That means it's a really strong trait of his. He's both-footed. When you watch him play, it really, or if you watch his highlights more, he doesn't really look like he has a weak foot compared to like a Reed Baker, where you can tell he's a bit more right-footed than he is left-footed. Both him, no. And as you can see, Engine last season, when I looked at the stats, I think he played almost every single game, if not every game, for 90 minutes or just literally till the end of the game. That is absurd for being 20. That's amazing. I don't know if we're ever going to win him, but I do like his profile. Dribbles and aerial duels, obviously being 6'2", he's able to win the ball a lot better. And some players are actually 6'2" and don't win the ball at all, which surprises me, but still being defensive, winning aerial duels perfect. Dribbles, he doesn't dribble that often, but when he does, he has successful take-ons, like more successful than failures. But he's more defensive, so that's why he has uh low successful crosses, ball retention. He's more of a defensive profile and more of a athletic, sorry, profile compared to number 1. Um, I wouldn't mind him on the national team whatsoever. He looks really solid, especially being 20. He would be easily a starter for any MLS team. Really, no one comes to mind who has like a really solid right back. But still, I just don't know if we're gonna win him and then win him to the U.S. I think he's gonna stay with Denmark. When he plays a Denmark first team, like national team, I will remove him from the list. But for now, I have him at number 2. And at number 1, rising American right back is Frankie Westfield from Philadelphia Union. If you've not seen him play, watch him. I think he's a joy to watch, especially when he's having really good games. Uh, Aerial duels, yes, that is a really strong trait of his. Being 5'7", he has a lot more successful wins than losses. Just a scrappy player. I like that. Kind of reminds me of a different player in this list. I guess Philadelphia only has dogs on the team. Defensive work rate, he drops back. Key passes, crosses. Yes, if you watch him, he has a really solid long pass on him, crosses. He has the attacking output as well with 5 assists. And this was like a couple weeks ago. I think I could up. I think he has more assists now, which is absurd being 20. I expect him to get a move to Europe anytime soon. Hopefully, a solid league, though. I don't want him going to Chelsea and just being part of the loan army or playing for their second team. But with him, there's a little funny story about him. He was originally supposed to go to Penn State for college, but Philadelphia decided his performances were really good and they decided to give him a professional contract and lead him to a professional pathway. Played in their MLS Next Pro team where he had 6 goals, 6 assists as a defender, and he made the league's best 11. He broke into the first team, and he's hasn't lost that position uh, anytime soon. I think they push Harriel back into center back, where he's been solid, and the thing is, Frankie is a higher potential than him, 4 stars. If he goes to Europe, I do not expect him to fail whatsoever. I am really high on this kid. I think he's going to be staying at the number 1 position for a while. All right, left backs are second to last position, and I think this is easily one of, if not the strongest position with talent and quality right away. There's so much competition in this position. I don't think it gets enough credit. The future watch prospects are really highly rated. And let's start with Pedro Guimaraes from Eintracht Frankfurt. Recently joined them from Orange County Soccer Club in the USL, where he was getting minutes as a teenager. Again, USL has European eyes over there. There are scouts watching them, and there's a lot more players on this list who just recently made the transfer to Europe from there, and who are about to get transferred. And let's just talk a little bit more about him. He played in the 2025 U17 World Cup for the United States. played really solid there. I remember watching him a few times. Couldn't really watch the games, but the highlights and from what I heard as well from Tack and Pete, Tack rates him really highly, and he doesn't sugarcoat things. And if he doesn't sugarcoat about him, then he's pretty high rated. But again, Tack is just a YouTuber doing American stuff. But let's move on. He made the move. I don't know if he's going to be playing first team minutes. We did have Aiden Harangi as well from there, who wasn't getting any first team minutes. I don't know if he still plays for a second team and it's Frankfurt and it's Germany. They are a lot. I would say they're a lot smarter with prospects until it was Pepe at Osberg. But again, I see his pathway not being blocked. I think it's clear. It just more on him if he's able to make it there. If not, I think he can easily still stay in Europe, and that's Pedro Guimaraes for you. Next player up is Landon Emmanuel from Chelsea's U21 team. Probably the highest potential player in this position. I still just give him 4 stars just to be a little bit chilled about his future. But if anything, he can be going up to 5.5 or sorry 4.5 stars, and it just comes down to him already being that Chelsea trusts him. I guess in a little sense way they played him in friendlies. As a left back, as a left wing back. He's also played defensive midfielder, like center mid, and as a center back a few times. He's played everywhere. He's very versatile. And in more recent news, he has been linked to Celtic in the Scottish Premier League. So he'll be playing next to Austin Trusty and Carter Vickers, and then Alistair Johnson, if that matters. But still, he is American born, developed at Chelsea. He has already represented both the U.S. and England. He has the England national flag next to him because he more recently represented them. But there are some good news. He was recently taking a photo with him wearing a USA kit. I don't know if that was a youth national team jersey, but still, that's promising. Uh, that Celtic, if he, they're already trying to scout, or not even scout, loan in a 16-year-old. Scottish league is, you know, kind of is not the best league. It's really top heavy, but Celtic is a really solid team. Recently today, they just lost to Lask from Austria to two Americans, just kicking them out. I think he would actually be able to start for Celtic easily. Uh, but again, if that like best team in Scotland wants you to play for them, that's a very good signs. I guess for us, the question is, can we recruit him to the USA national team? I think realistically, yes. Next player up is Prince 44. He is probably the most explosive pure athlete in the left back position. As most fullbacks are, they are former wingers who got developed as a fullback. That's not a shot at him, but that's just how mostly things work. But still doesn't take away from his athleticism. He's being already compared to Alfonso Davies, and that guy is rapid. What 97 pace on FIFA, destroyed Barca in the Champions League during what COVID time. I just hope he's not injury prone as Davies, but I think he's already a clear option for the youth national teams. Already playing for U17 when healthy. Already is at Columbus Crew too. But their fullbacks are a bit different. They're more wing backs. Still, that doesn't take away, especially if Poch is going to be the coach for the next 4 years, supposedly. I think he has a clear pathway into being a wing back. I don't think it's going to be 2030, but 2034. I would be not surprised if he's one of the options for sure, or getting called up for Nations Cup, Gold Cup, all that. It just for him, it's like, is the defensive side is it going to develop to match his attacking tools? Hopefully so. Fingers crossed. Next player up is Manu Romero from Real Madrid, U17, and that is Real Madrid in Spain. I haven't heard too much about this kid in a while. I just remember hearing him playing for Real Madrid. But he is American. He's represented the American national team more recently. Than he's also a dual knot with Uruguay. But I think we're winning the battle. Things I haven't heard too much about him. I think it's mostly due to the recent scouting reports where they are questioning his physical development and his defensive consistency. That's kind of a bad sign to see. So we'll see how he develops. He is worth watching. We've never had an American play at Real Madrid. I don't know if he's going to be the first one ever, but I still have him on 3.5 stars. So please give me some updates about him. And last player up is Easton Odom from Barca Residency Academy. There are news. I don't know why I didn't double check before doing this. Sorry, I got busy. But there's reports of him moving to San Diego Academy, and If that is true, I love that because again, I think San Diego is one of the best. They give a lot of youth players a lot of like opportunities. That's what I was going for. But how his game is that he's attack minded, quick, actually composed on the ball, and he's a clear standout for his group. Yeah, he's already been involved with the USA U15, and moving to San Diego's academy is exactly what Future Watch is about. Probably too young to move into the top 10 position, but definitely someone to keep an eye out on. I mean, I'd say that about almost every player here, but definitely keep an eye out on him. Probably more of a 2034 player, maybe even 38. But USA has a talented left back here for sure. At number 10, I have Dominic Troy Q. I think that's how you pronounce it, from Atlanta United's second team. And I guess I should get this out the way. He did suffer an MCL sprain during preseason, so he was out for what was it, 4 to 6 weeks, and that kind of did really hinder his development. He hasn't played any minutes with the first team at all. But Atlanta's so weird with their youth and not giving teenagers really that much minutes. They did give him minutes last season, but again, they have a striker on this list that's, or I guess further on in a different episode, who's been scoring tons of goal in MLS Next, like almost a goal a game, and he has a like pretty huge physical profile, and they're not giving him chances at all. I don't know why, but again, this is we're talking about Dominic. I think from the reports, he has the physical tools to like really stand out. He's speedy. He takes one-on-one defending really, like he's a really solid one v1 defender. But again, it's that MCL injury that really like interrupted his momentum, and that's why I have him 10th. But the thing is, it's like talent doesn't really disappear. It's just more the fact, can he go into back into what he was projected to? I really hope so. A talented kid. I think USA or US Soccer Collective had him ranked for sure in the top 50 for US prospects any year. And as a left back, that's really promising. Just get back to being a solid player, Dominic. At number 8, I have Tristan Brown from Columbus Crew. He primarily plays with their second team, but he's moving the right direction. Play for their academy, their second team, the Columbus Crew 2. Got a first team contract. Made his MLS debut, but I have him ranked number 9 just due to not getting that many minutes with the senior team. But he is promising. He's been involved with the U.S. national or youth setup. And the issue with him, or kind of issues that, again, with Columbus, they play more of a wingback role players instead of the traditional defensive players. But I don't think that's too much of an issue. I guess with him as well, it's just can his defensive traits and quality catch up to his attacking traits. But we'll see how it goes. He's still super young in '07. Most of these 10 through 6 players are actually, from what I'm seeing, 4 out of the 5 are 2007 born. But again, he's just moving in the right direction. He could be pushing for 3.5 stars next update, but for sure next season. So we'll see how he goes. At number 8, I have Tahir Reed Brown from St. Louis SC. I don't know why I switched it back to 0 appearances, 0 minutes. That's false. He's just recently transferred to St. Louis from Orlando City. And I think it's more of the fact that he got his position taken by a younger player, player with more upside. And that player is going to be mentioned further up this list. But back to Reed Brown. Still a solid player. Also, I really like this move because if you're not getting playing time somewhere, and if a club is offering you playing time in their club, take it. Don't stunt your growth because you're not getting any playing time. um Compete in the new team and show why you are ranked so highly, because he's already made a US national team appearances at the U17 U19 level. He was solid in MLS Next Pro, was an all-star actually with the Orlando B team. And I don't know, this move, let's see if he can continue that growth, because he was ranked really highly. It just sucked that he got his position taken. Um, Hopefully he's kind of like moving out of that MLS Next Pro and really pushing it for first team minutes, because solid game all around from him. It's just, can he completely revive his career and go further up the list? We'll see. At number 7, I have Bernard Rain from Orlando City. And yes, this is the player I mentioned earlier who took Reed Brown's position at Orlando. I've seen him play. He's a really solid defensive fullback. He was not scared at all playing against Lyon in the Leagues Cup and against another team he played okay, but against Lyon, he really showed his like the potential is there. That's why I have him at 3.5 stars. I think that's mostly my own ranking because I don't know. I haven't seen too many people talk super highly about him. I like how he's like developing really solid fullback. Not the best with attacking. His crossing has some work to do. His decision making has more work to do. But he is 18 years old. He's still having a solid season with the Orlando B team. Or like earlier in the season, he had 2 goals, 3 assists, almost 1,500 minutes. Really solid average foot mob rating, and I can see why they are trusting him over Reed Brown because he's just the potential's there. He's been really solid everywhere he's gone. If he's getting more minutes with Orlando City, I really do see him pushing up into that top five. Really, again, left back is one of the most promising positions we have in the national pipeline, the national setup. Six have Christian McFarland from Leicester City on loan from Manchester City and from the Premier League. Yes, that Manchester City. I think he might have the highest potential in this position. Maybe we'll see. Number one is pushing him because they're having a better trajectory. But either way, about Christian, he came from New York City FC. He was one of the players I mentioned that got signed with Drew from the right back position. The other players, defensive mid, you guys probably know him. But still, let's talk about Christian. Still, he is a really solid player. He played for Manchester City's second team, the Premier League 2, where he got 5 goals, 6 assists from the left back position, playing almost every single game. The thing that sucks is just it's just really hard to break into Manchester City's lineup, especially with how much quality they have, how much money they're spending. But this loan is a solid one, I would say. In the third division for Leicester City, they got relegated from the championship. Sucks to see that. But for him, this season is really really make or break is if he's still a prospect or is he is he going to be a legitimate European first team player? Because if he has a solid season for Leicester City, I would not be surprised if Man City decide to give him a shot in friendlies, then keep him or sell him. Really, it's really cutthroat there, but still, good move. Hopefully, he gets regular playing minutes for Leicester City. If he is, I see no other choice than putting him in top five because he is talented. Maybe 4.5 star potential, but let's just chill out. Let's see how he does with Leicester City. At number five, I have Matthew Dos Santos from New York Red Bulls. He is having the most obvious breakout season out of anyone, being in '08. Michael Bradley really pushing him into the first team, and it's obvious he is solid player. He fits that like Red Bull system player. He has a high intensity, presses a lot, moves the ball with attacking confidence, and even makes forward runs as well. Overlap, uh, inverted laps as well, and he's able to like play with his team. So combination plays there, and it's really the like Red Bull way, I would say. Um, but you can tell he's 18 years old. Also, wait. Quick shout out to the New York Red Bulls for having the most minutes given to teenagers this season so far. Shout out to 11 Yanks Pete for doing a report on that. Thank you, Michael Bradley, for playing the youth. Thank you to every one of those. But let's move on to Matthew, or let's get back to Matthew. uh you can tell he's 18. He's like pretty lean. He doesn't have that muscle mass yet, and you can tell he's 18 because of his decision making, or I guess there it says mental fatigue. When you watch him play, he kind of makes the wrong decision towards later in the game, and that's probably why he gets subbed out early in the 60th minute, 70th minute. He's not really playing full games, but I don't think that's an issue. He's only 18. I think he's only going to get better with stamina, decision making, gain that more experience. He's exactly the player you want at number five. Maybe he'll move up further up the list, but really this position's so competitive. At number four, I have Tate Johnson from Vancouver Whitecaps, and I think he might have one of the strangest pathways on this list because he debuted for Tampa Bay Rowdies in the USL at 16 years old, really young, playing the championship. Then he went to Crown Legacy, which is Charlotte's MLS Next Pro team. Then he played college at North Carolina, went to the MLS draft, and the Vancouver Whitecaps picked him up. And that's not a bad thing. He is proving his worth. He is playing really solid for Vancouver Whitecaps. I've seen him play. I've watched, some Vancouver Whitecap games, unfortunately, but still, he is really solid. That's like the scouting traits are really spot on, short and long passing accuracy. He's really accurate with the ball. And he might be not doing like tons of passing throughout the game, but when he does, it's really accurate. He has, I think, one of the highest passing accuracies in any position in the MLS, and that's as a fullback. I guess you do have easier passes to make to center back and defenseman, but again, that doesn't discredit the long passing, which is like crossing the field, crosses. But uh, maybe it's due to the weakness, risk averse. He's not being really risky, maybe a bit timid, but again, he's still making the right decisions. So decision making is also a strong trait, and tactical flexibility. Just able to play different roles, different positions in a sense, left wing back, left back, but also different roles where he's overlapping, inverting. I really like this player. I think he deserves a lot more credit. His talent isn't really based off of like academy hype. It's just built on like constantly adapting to a new level, and he's played solid everywhere he's gone. So I really have no like I'm not really worried about this kid. I just hope he continues playing well. Hopefully, gets a move to Europe. I would not be surprised. I think maybe even championships on the call, but we'll see. At number three, I have Luca Bombito from San Diego FC. Man, I love all the prospects they have. They all have the best underdog stories because Luca, he was originally developed by LAFC, but they weren't giving him a breakthrough there, as they usually do with youth. So San Diego came in, brought him on loan, really like what they saw him, made him permanent. Same story as Oscar Verhoeven. And same story as from what I saw from him. I was surprised he was so young and playing so good against my Timbers. He was what, 18, 19 at the time. I'm like, wow, he has the attacking quality. He has the potential there. I was thinking about giving him 4 stars from what I've seen, but I'm just gonna hold out from there. I would not be surprised if he moves up to 4 star. It might even get a move. I don't know, he might get a look from Poach in the 4 friendlies we have upcoming, but there's other players to give shouts to. Let's not rush him or anything of that sort, but he's going in the right direction. And with his traits, it says isolated defending. He is good at like 1v1 defending, dual fullback, again, left back, right back. Short passings are really strong. A game of his, just making the right decisions. But with him, discipline, he's had a lot of yellow cards, maybe even a red card. I don't have any report right now, and too rash at times. I think just being 20 and being so erratic or eccentric, just moving quickly. He just moves too quickly and tackles the wrong way, or that doesn't really hurt, but like tackles the wrong way, and that's why he's too rash. So I think that's just going to improve over experience and playing more games. I would not be surprised if he moves to Europe. And a little bit more about him. He's intelligent. He has intelligent positioning. He is really technical. Likes to play with his team, not just a solo player. Overlaps, invert laps, and he has really good solid crossing in him. And that's Luca Bombito, just someone to look out for, someone to definitely watch a game of, especially San Diego FC. You can watch him and Oscar Verhoeven play. Just I won't be surprised again if he moves to Europe in the next transfer cycle or window. Number two, I have Caleb Wiley from Chelsea FC. Yes, I would say more of a benchmark player, but I think he's earned it, just like Gaga. He was really young in MLS, was breaking through at Atlanta United, solid left back, and deserved a transfer, maybe not to Chelsea, just again because of their loan army system and everything like that. He knows how to attack, he's really athletic, and he can play wingback as well. The issue with him is that he's injury prone. He's went on loan to Strasbourg in Ligue 1, and to Watford in the Championship. Got injured both times there, and he's currently injured. It just really sucks to see that he had so much potential. He still does. I'm not giving up on him just yet. He is only 21. No point of just giving up on him. Just with him, I think it's the same story as Gaga. Can he get the minutes? Can he get senior minutes somewhere? Can he recover from injuries? Or is he going to be coming back to MLS? Because he's promising it's like traits are like really fast, recovery positions, counter pressing. So he really knows how to press and also transition into counters as well. But injury prone, hugs the sideline. That's just more of the fact that he's not really combining too much of his team, just kind of just stays out wide. But still, athleticism is still there, his speed is still there, crossing and just able to play both left back and wing back. The kid should still make it, right? Right. At number one is Peyton Miller from New England Revolutions. Yeah, I don't know who else to put in this position, but I guess the one issue, or maybe the reason why he shouldn't be in the number one position, is because he plays left wing and right wing a bit more often right now than left back, and that is just due to him being so rapid. I think the new FIFA gave him 89 pace. I think he's a 93, 94 for sure. If you've seen him, he's fast. He's gone in a blink of an eye, and he has really good attacking traits or technique. So like as you can see, he can vary his crosses, low cross, high cross, whipped, driven. That's solid to have as an 18-year-old player. And then the defensive disciplines might be why he's not playing left back as often. But he's 18. Let him grow into the game. Let him experience it. Let him just train the right way. I don't know. He was going to be the number one pick for me in the Olympics just because, again, 18 players, his versatility is there. Wingers, left back, maybe even left mid or even left mid as well. And he is able to do it so well. He is carrying the ball at really good rates. He's making the right attacking runs. He is getting the goals as well. That's why he has 4 goals. I think maybe even 5 goals now. Um, but yeah, it's just ball progression, and he's a threat in the box. I've seen in the more recent game where he's just able to run down the ball when it's about to go out, and he's able to just get there with a with like a blink of an eye again, and make a cross like an actual threatening ball, not just a huff and puff and just pray someone gets to there. No, it's going to the player's feet, to their head. He has it all right now. It's just grow that defensive discipline, the contributions, and you can easily get a move to Europe. I'm surprised he's not being linked anywhere. If anything, I would not be surprised if a Brighton's calling for him or a Brentford. I think he's actually able, maybe not to play right away in the Premier League, but he has a potential to play in the Premier League for sure. I gave him 4 stars. Would not be surprised if it's 4.5 by the end of the season or the by summertime. Peyton Miller is for sure someone to be looking out for, and someone for sure to probably even be given a chance to play with the national team in this next friendly camp. And finally, center backs. I kind of want to get this video over with because it is 10:30 and I'll be probably done by 11. Still need to edit, still need to get some work stuff done. But let's start out with Christopher Cubs from Chicago Fire 2. But it is August 25th, and it has been reported that he's getting a loan move to a team in Scotland's second division, which is that really a step up from him? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. As I guess if he's getting minutes, that's better than playing an MLS Next Pro, because Greg Berhalter is not playing him whatsoever at at Chicago Fire. They are a team that wants to win it all this season. I don't know if they are, but we'll see. Christopher Cups, he is really highly ranked. I have him at 4 stars because I think he has the tools to be a really solid defender. He's super tall. I think it was 6'5" at being 18 years old. He's in the future watch just due to not getting senior minutes, and other players on this list are roughly the same age as him, but they have a more clear pathway to the first team and already have first team minutes. With him, I think he might need a better move than the second division Scotland, and definitely from Chicago Fire. Go meet up with the other prospects in San Diego. And maybe not Philadelphia Union just because they signed Mark McKenzie recently, and Nathan Harrell's having a really solid season. And again, maybe somewhere else. I don't know. Honestly come to Timbers too, but still with him, he is tall. He can win the ball aerial, like in the air easily. Strong, like pretty strong actually for having more of a like a lean body type. He still needs to add more muscle if he wants to be a serious center back. But I think thing that stands him out compared to other players in his position is just he's really solid on the ball. He's good passer, really composed as well, has really solid technique abilities for his age. It just, again, somehow Greg's not seeing that, doesn't want to give him a chance, which sucks. He's going to be at the Future Watch, but we'll see how his loan goes for that second division team in Scotland. Next player up is Michael Bresler from Jong PSV, which is just youth PSV. Yes, Dutch is a silly language. Just kidding. But if you've seen that one Twitter interaction, then you know what I'm talking about. Either way, more about Michael is that he was born in Pennsylvania, but grew up in Netherlands, and he was developed through PSV. Um, Really solid player. He is more of that European type of like academy player. Like you can see why PSV is able to develop these players, and that is just due to him just being really good on the ball, really comfortable being able to dribble the ball into the midfield, not just boot it out to the left winger, right winger, to your right back, or even out of bounds. No, they are teaching these kids to be composed on the ball, being really quality on the ball, being like honestly more of like having that six technical ability, like because his passing quality is really high, short and long passing. But with him, future watch just due to him playing against kids his age, not really getting too many like appearances or adult professional competition. Yeah, being an 07, you think you should be pushing up a bit higher, but we'll see. It's really hard to break at PSV. Um, and again, you can see the Dutch flag next to him. He's been more recent with the national team. I don't have it on my list right here if he's played for the American national team, but he was born in Pennsylvania. With him, he's a lot closer to the first team or like adult competition than a lot of other players on Future Watch. So we'll see how he develops in the next couple of months if he's able to get first team in. So Ramins Mahuda from Werder Bremen's second team, and he recently got a transfer from the USL Championship, which is more proof. He was more recently with Birmingham Legion, again the USL Championship, really young. As you can tell, he's in 08, so making him 18, but he got a transfer in May to the Bundesliga club, and I really like how his pathway is going. MLS Academy, USL Senior Soccer, now the Bundesliga, and that's solid. I forgot what they play. I think yeah, just Bundesliga didn't get relegated or anything, but just a clear example of why USL pathways still matter, why they should still be given eyes on, not just by European scouts, but I think MLS teams should be still keeping their eye out on them. Maybe it's just beef. We haven't seen too many players make it up from USL to MLS. The only one I can think about more recently is Diego Luna, but it really sucks. But hey, he got to move to Europe at a really young age. Had a solid club. He's gonna be playing more with their second team. But hey, at 18 years old, that's still solid. You have a clear pathway into Bundesliga team as well. It just is he able to prove it? We did have a lot of young players in Bundesliga before, and they didn't really outcome to nothing. I'm not saying that's how he's going to become, but it's just again, just hopefully he's able to get those meaningful senior minutes, and see if he can break into the top 10 next year at least. Next player up is Tyson Upsby from Orange County SC, USL Championship, and again, I will not be surprised if he's getting a move to Europe soon, especially Bundesliga. He's been playing for Orange County since he's 16, making really solid appearances. I think when I made this, he had 9 appearances, 4 starts, and he's even scored a goal as well. The thing with him is that he's also played with the USA Youth National Team, helping them qualify for the U17 World Cup. Also, just helping them out. Looks solid. He's one of the top players that US Soccer Collective has him ranked. Marcus does a list of top 50 USA prospects, all years combined, so 2007 to 2011. Ranked 25th as a center back along players who are much older than him. Just a really solid profile to happen or to have. In the right trajectory, playing against adults, starting games, national team starter. It's just, again, I would not be surprised if he goes to Europe anytime soon. And last player up is Max Gordon from Bayer Leverkusen, U17. He might have the highest ceiling from the future watch, that's for sure. Wait until number one. I think you might know him, but still wait till number one. He's been playing above his age for a while. For Leverkusen as well, that's a solid team to be making like huge strides for. He is ranked number 13 in that top 50 USA prospect, which is higher than Tyson, and he is younger than him by a year. But it's just the same story with him. He's a dual nat like recruitment battle. Are we really gonna win him? I don't know. Hopefully, somehow we're able to bring him into the youth national team. Really do not know how that works. I think after U17, if you declare for a country, you have to represent that country, or else you have to make a one-time switch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just this kid's someone to really like fight for. Really, if we had Greg Berhalter doing recruitment battles, I think we would have him by now. Joke, also not a joke. Again, he's just nowhere near to be ranked against other players in the top 10 list. So I'm just gonna have him at the future watch for now. At number 10, I have Stuart Hawkins from Seattle Sounders. Again, a good amount of appearances for first team and second team. He got signed at 16 years old to a homegrown deal after he became the MLS Next Cup MVP. Um, Playing really good for it to come with the fines as well. But it's the way people treat uh players who turn pro like way too early. They treat him like as finished products. Some other people I've seen, I guess on Twitter, ranked him a lot higher than I think he deserves, just due to him not playing the best for Seattle, but at the same time they're a really dysfunctional team right now. What 15 injuries right now in like almost every position. You really expect a 19-year-old to fix that? No, but at the same time he hasn't been the most solid. But I don't. That's like not really an issue. Really, his career's in the right trajectory. I just don't think he's gonna be cracking top five anytime soon. But still, there's a lot more development with him. That's for sure. At number 9, I have Andre Kirilla from FC Cincinnati. He's making this list. The ranking look really outdated because when I first made this graphic was what first week of August. He wasn't getting that much playing time for Cincinnati's first team, but since then, it kind of skyrocketed for his age as well in his position. It has really skyrocketed. Um, he played in League's Cup against I think it was Lyon and Monterrey. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he just looked really solid. Left-footed center back, some position and foot that we really need, I guess, in the national team, first national team. But still, his profile, his traits are that he has the size. He's 6'3" at 17 years old. He's probably going to get taller. Being 17, he's able to grow muscle mass a lot quicker, and just the potential is super high for him, especially when he's like collective on the ball, like composed while defending against strong opposition. There's just a lot of upside of him. He's a player that's like still really young, raw, but this is exactly who we're looking forward to in this series, and I guess he might even crack the top five list in the end of the season, the next update. Let's hope so. At number 8, we have a player who US Soccer Collective ranks 17 among the top 50 USA prospects in any age year, and his name is Ian James from Sporting KC. Honestly, he should be a lot higher because he's been was his second season with the first team in Kansas. But the issue is that he's not having a great season for Sporting KC right now. He has given away the most penalties among any player in the league, which is two. I mean, two is not that high of a number, but like halfway through season already given two penalties away is pretty high. But still, he is a really strong prospect. He's highly regarded by a lot of scouts and people who watch him. He has that physical profile. He's really athletic as well. It's just current development and performance is hindering him a lot, I would say. But his ceiling, his potential is really high. Again, talent doesn't really disappear. So that's why I have him ranked 8th. Let's see if he's able to pick it up and, get ranked higher. At number 7, I have Ethan Kohler from New England Revolutions, and his path has been a full circle. He started out in San Jose Academy, which seems a lot of players start from there and just go and or sorry, he went to play at Oakland Roots in USL Championship, went to Werder Bremen in Germany. Now he's back in MLS. Not saying his career is over at all. It's not the end all be all, but he came back to be more or to get playing time, which is perfect, especially as a center back. I don't think it's really a step backwards as long as he continues this solid form that he's having right now. I don't know. I see him going up to three and a half star potential. It's just for him. Are those years in Germany are they really gonna help him become a like long term MLS star, push him back into Europe? Because when he was younger, he actually had a solid, I guess, career for the U.S. U20s. Because when he played for the U20 in the World Cup, he kept a clean sheet against France and Italy. That's really impressive. I know it's a team collective effort to keep a clean sheet, but still, he was really solid in the game. So I would say the quality and potential are there, but is he able to break it through being like a much older player. Let's see if he becomes an MLS star. At number six, I have Nolan Norris from FC Dallas. Yes, he is still this young. He kind of gives me the same vibe as Reed Baker Whiting because he's just been in MLS for the longest time. Came through FC Dallas Academy, signed him as they signed him as a homegrown. They extended his contract recently, and he's having a really solid season for FC Dallas as well. I have him at center back because that's where primarily he's been playing. Because he was playing left back earlier. He's played other positions like defensive mid and the at center mid, the 6 and the 8. But for FC Dallas, he's playing more of a left center back, and sometimes I've seen him play center back. It's solid. He's versatile. He could play along there. He's just more of a defensive role player, not really too attacking, but still he's very intelligent. Again, like I said, versatile. Dallas likes to use him anywhere, and he's been playing pretty solid in those positions as well. It's just, is he going to be able to make it to the Olympics squad? I think he's an underrated player to pick for the Olympic squad. I don't know. I don't have him in my starting or in the 18-man roster, but if one of them gets injured, I would not be surprised if he gets called up as well. He's an interesting profile, really defensive, not as physically profiled as the other players are, but still more of the proven players along this ranking range, and maybe even top five. But for now, I have him six. Number five, I have Mai Tai Akinbombi from Dundee FC. He is on loan from Bournemouth FC, and that's why I had him ranked fifth when I was making this graphic, because honestly didn't know how to rank him because he wasn't going to start for Bournemouth's first team. That's why I'm fifth below another player, but still he got his loan to Dundee FC in the Scottish Premier League. It's a move not to worry about. A lot of people are worried about the name of the league and the quality of the league, but still he's going to get first team minutes. Hopefully, I hope so. And Scottish Premier League, they had Van Dijk when he was 22, or till he was 22, and moved to Southampton, went to Liverpool. The rest is history. Greatest defender in the Premier League history. Fight me in the comments about that, but I believe that. But still, if you don't know about Mai Tai, he made his debut for DC United at 15 years old, which is absurd. It seems like, again, he's been here forever and he's still only 19. Had the solid games there, caught Bournemouth's eye, and he really hasn't made a first team appearance with them, only playing in the Premier League too. But now he has senior, or he's going to be playing against seniors, against adults. So let's see how he's doing, because I like where his career trajectory is going now. It's a lot more straightforward, I guess. Going on loan, seeing if that's going to be enough to start for Bournemouth. If not, hopefully he gets another loan, or honestly a transfer out to the Eredivisie or Belgium, the two solid leagues. It's still number five. If he has a solid season, I'm not surprised if he's going to jump to 4 or 3 just due to the other players' situations. At number four, I have Joshua Winder from Benfica, second team in the Portuguese league. And I ranked him higher just because I thought he has a bigger chance at breaking out at Benfica than Mai Tai at Bournemouth. But we'll see, because he's quite injury prone, and it's affected his physical development, I guess, or maybe even quality. That's why I have him as like a weakness of his. And senior minutes is a big issue because I don't even know. I think I have 2 career games for Benfica's first team. Uh, Career's not on the right path right now, that's for sure. We all had him really high. I think some of us had him making it to the World Cup 2026, like 4 years ago, just because he looks so promising for Louisville in the USL Championship. He's been playing there, or he played there for a while, got his move to Benfica, and we know Benfica has a good eye for young players and are able to sell them for a lot more. But since then, it's been really frustrating seeing him be injured, a lot of knee issues, and being 21, he's at a point where it's he needs to stay healthy and actually break into the senior team, because he's not a prospect anymore. He is going to be stabilizing his career, seeing if he's able to fight for his place in Benfica. If not, then get a move to somewhere in Europe, or come back to MLS, or go back, or not, he was never at MLS, or go to MLS and redefine your career. And that's why I have him 4. I would not be surprised if he drops out though of the top 5 ranking.
At number three, I have Neil Pierre from Philadelphia Union's first team, and this season has been ridiculous. Even last season too, he was actually playing striker for Philadelphia Union's academy before becoming a center back. He won MLS Next Pro Defender of the Year that season as well. Then Union sent him on loan to Lyngby in Denmark, same club as Diego Cochin. But when he went on loan there, they're in the second division, had a really solid season there. It is a lower quality league, but still scored goals there. I think even assisted a few times. And then came back and his career skyrocketing. He immediately scored on his first game there as well. Even got his assists, I think. I don't know why I don't have an assist there, but still got his first goal, and now he's been scoring at an absurd rate. I think currently right now, I think he has 4 goals in 8 games. It really helps when you are 6'7" and athletic as heck, and that's why aerial dominance is a really strong trait of his. Just helps. But being that tall at that young of an age, he's in that like awkward phase where he's like perhaps figuring out his body and how to use it well. And that's why like, slow to turn, a little bit clunky, I guess, in a sense, but still pretty athletic. Poor distribution, tactical reading. I think it's weak. It's weakness because he's just young. It's going to change over time. Just with more experience against stronger oppositions, more game time. He's just really going to grow. It's going to be interesting to see how he develops. The sky's the limit for him, and he's like skyrocketing this season. If he continues this, 4.5 stars are in his grasp, as in his reach. I mean, we'll see. Just remember the name Neil Perry. He's probably going to be the starting center back in the Olympics in 2 years' time. At number two, I have Henry Chase from RB Leipzig in Austrian League. He is probably the most complicated player here for sure, especially from the U.S. Perspective. He has an American dad, but he grew up in Japan, has represented Japan throughout the youth national team system, so the U20s, U23s. So he would have to do a one-time switch in his case and give up his Japanese citizenship if he was to represent the U.S. Um, I think it's not the case for all players. I think if you have a lower profile, if you're a lower profile player in Japan, you get to have dual now citizenship. I don't fully understand it, but I would understand like he would have to remove his his Japanese citizenship. I don't think we've ever had a Japanese player do that to join the US, which sucks. I don't know if he's gonna be the first one to do it, but still, more about him is that he went to Japanese high school, then went to Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. Did do or he had a couple of Champions League appearances, then moved to Salzburg. Currently injured, which sucks. I haven't been able to watch any games. I've seen that I was able to watch a couple of Salzburg games when I clicked on them. He's not there. I found out that he's injured. Really sucked because I think he would really help the USMT right now because his game is super solid. He's good defender. He's actually really good. Not really good, but he's pretty good on the ball as well. Really comfortable. I guess for him, the talent is there, just currently injured. Let's see how he develops when he returns. But the biggest issue is, do we have a real chance with him, or is he just going to represent the Japanese first team? If he does, I'll remove him from the list because, again, we're trying to find players who are going to be a staple of the USMT now, later, or further down the line. And my number one rising American center back is Noah Kai Banks. And I think a lot of people have heard his name. He was called up to the U.S. national team, did not play a single minute, and I think that was due to him not wanting to do a one-time file switch. I don't think it was Poach's fault at all for not playing him. Yeah, I remember a lot of people were blaming Poach for that, but I don't think he really had control. I think he was respecting the player and his wishes, and I think he might be representing Germany. There is a lot of recent like reports, or not even reports. We've seen it with our own eyes. Him replying to American players replying back to him. It is promising, but I think it's like a nothing burger really because I think he's just gonna represent Germany. Unfortunate because he is 19 years old, made 23 Bundesliga appearances. We've never had a center back in our history do that, and that's why I'm at 4.5 star potential. I guess not just for appearances, but also his game. Composed, aerial commanding, positional awareness. At 19 years old, a lot of players are around his age and do not have that level of quality that's intelligent like gameplay at 19 and doing it in the Bundesliga, not in the MLS, not USL or wherever. No, in the Bundesliga. He is super solid. Uh, Fingers crossed if we can, recruit him to America because he'll be the second best center back in our back three behind Chris Richards. I don't know if I can really fairly compare him to Freeman just due to different roles, but still, as a pure center back, he would be second best. And the thing with him is that he has the ability to grow a lot higher than what Chris Richard is right now. You know, ball playing is really strong, progressive passing as well, always looking forward. If he joins, he would replace Tim Ream easily. I mean, Tim Ream's probably going to retire from the national team if he hasn't already. And if he joins, that's like a center back we have for what the next 10, next what 14 years at the left center back. We need to try our best to recruit this kid because he is a regular top five league player at 19 years old. Could be a very good player in a top five league uh, as well. It's just whether is he going to choose us or Germany. Fingers crossed it is us.
And with that, those are my top rising American goalkeepers and defenders right now. Remember, this is our first benchmark. We will be revisiting these rankings in a few months' time. Players are going to rise, players are going to fall. Future watch prospects are they going to break into their first team? And then remember, potential can change. So they can go up, they can go down. And heck, are we going to see a player join Alex Freeman as a graduate? 4 months is a lot of time for something to happen. We'll see. Probably next year, though. Also, I want to know what you guys think. Who did I rank too high? Who did I rank too low? And more importantly, who did I miss? Just leave those names down below. Um, yeah, just in the comments. I'm pretty sure I missed a few players. For sure, Future Watch kids. Of course, Future Watch is gonna have a lot more than 5 players in the next update. So leave those names down in the comments. And next episode, we're going to be going into the midfield. So defensive mids, center mids, and attacking mids. And in that position, I have a 5-star potential player. So you guys probably know his name. But if you don't, stay tuned for that. So like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Don't be too scared because I am nervous in making these videos. I don't see your faces. But again, not the best speaker here. Leave your comments down below on how to improve on that, but still like, subscribe, and remember, Yanks can ball.